Acolytes. Störender Streamer greift Philippinen an. Schnell verhaftet. I mean, you all can speak German. And if you can't, well, then learn it quick. So know what this means. Okay, Acolytes. This is basically a disturbing streamer, or not disturbing, a streamer who actually disturbs people, attacks the Philippines, and is getting shafted pretty quick. Not shafted. I wish. But hey, legal mindset, I hope. In this case, why am I specifically doing this? It's because it's in the Philippines. Legal mindset has actually a lot of extra information about countries like that than any other streamer. I also could have picked Rev, but I think this is the better choice if it comes to information. But who knows? And let's just see what happens.
So let's get into this guy. So I will confess,
Yes,
I had
please.
not heard of this guy before, but apparently this Vitaly guy was a pretty successful, like, quote unquote prankster on YouTube. I mean, a 10 million viewer channel is objectively successful in terms of YouTube views. And I want to be very clear. I'm not necessarily against the idea of pranks. There are different levels, though, of what I would call a prank and what is not a prank. Going up to somebody and asking them a question that's funny, or doing the dwarf in a suitcase, if you remember that prank with Johnny Somali.
You're old. Legal mindset is old. As I realized that now. Okay, fair enough. By the way, I also think that there is a difference between pranks and what the F are you actually doing there. And of course, everybody has his own, well, basically grenze for the pranks, but hey, that's open for interpretation. I would say every normal being that actually looks at a prank video and says, oh, that's fine, then we can most of the time agree that it's fine.
Where they walked up and they're like, oh, the guy was talking to Ramsey, and then a dwarf gets out of the suitcase and starts running away. And that's relatively harmless, especially if that, dwarf's a paid actor, right? So, there's stuff that can be funny, right? And that could be interesting. And it relatively is relatively harmless. That is what it is. There's stuff that's insulting to the culture of the people and involves physically assaulting or threatening people. You're crossing a line between what is a prank and what is a crime. So if you're crossing that line to threatening people, to saying you're going to attack them, you're going to assault them, you're going to commit a sex crime against them, any sort of thing like that, you've now crossed a line legally. And that's a distinct line. That's a line that the law generally, once again, not a Philippines attorney, but that's a line generally that as societies we've said, hey, that's not okay. You can say,
yeah, I mean, yes, I would say that for every normal human being, this is the thing where you just say, okay, stop it, done. At least that's what I would say. Because normally, if you aren't a freak, you can actually quite accurately look it up and say, yeah, this is a bit too far or not. I mean, as I assume.
Hey, I don't like you. But you can't say, hey, I'm going to beat you over the head with a baseball bat. That's a line that is a little bit too far, right? And
fair enough.
It's something that generally the law across the world has acknowledged, generally. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Vitaly's background. So as you may not know, obviously he had a YouTube channel. I showed that a second ago. He used to do a lot of streaking in soccer games. He actually is banned from every single stadium, I believe. So I believe that there's like not any stadiums he can go to anymore, because he, went on a spree of doing streaking. I can kind of play one of those videos here. And what that was really a marketing ploy. So it was saying, hey, look, the cost of the fine, right? So the cost of the fine for doing this is less than the social media attention I will get off of this. Therefore, it's worth it to do it, because if I do this, then I'm going to get attention for this, and that's going to blow me up on social media. Therefore, this is worth it. I can just pay this off, because it's worth it just to do it and pay it off, right? So obviously this was something that went on for a while. This is before he was bulked up on.
I just have to chime in right now. Just those stupid fucks that do this. Like, come on, get the F out. Get just the F out. Don't disturb those people up here, or I don't know where the VIPs or blah blah sit. I don't care particularly. Most of those people pay good money for their favorite sport. Don't do this shit. Come on, there are some people that just set their money aside for years to afford this, and then some dumb fuck like this comes out and does this stuff. Get shafted, honestly.
He would, of course, write his social media, his handles on his chest, whatever, run out in the middle, get tackled, right? So, of course, you do that enough, you had enough games, enough places. I think that was during the World Cup final. So he actually literally streaked during the World Cup. And of course, that got him in some trouble.
Good.
Now, it actually kept going, and things kept accelerating till he got in some serious trouble down in my home state of Florida, right? And this one I actually did remember hearing about at some point. This was back in 2020, so I was actually in Miami at this time, way back in the day. This is right before I left for.
And this is the thing that I don't understand. This guy did it more often. As I hear it out, more than 3 times. The first time, okay, you may be a stupid fuck. You're doing this for, I don't know, fun or something like that. Okay, F you're gonna get banned. It's fine. The second time, you get a harsher punishment. Maybe a higher sum that you have to pay, or pay back the entire stadium of people that actually paid for the show and you just went in and wanted to destroy. Third time, jail. If you fuck around, you should find out pretty heavily.
Asia, right before I left. YouTube star Vitaly Zarovsky arrested for allegedly attacking a female jogger who he didn't know. So he essentially allegedly just went up to this female jogger, and essentially that's his mugshot there. That's on the thumbnail. Let's see what it says. The arrest came after the woman told police she was jogging alone when Zarovsky accosted her and threw her to the ground. She told police the YouTube star straddled her and began punching her repeatedly in the chest, neck, and face. She began to scream for help, catching the attention of passersby. Zarovsky ran into a nearby home where he was arrested. The alleged victim told police she had never met him and didn't know who he was and why he would have attacked her. She complained of chest pains and had a cut above her eye that required stitches. She expected to physically recover. After that, pretty much mentioning, saying that he doesn't regret the prank. He's just sad that people got upset regarding. He also had a bomb hoax.
Okay. Benefit of the doubt. If you call something like that a prank, you're fucked in the head. If this is true. And don't get me wrong, these days, it's hard to believe if a female says something like that. Because, well, a certain movement destroyed a lot of believability. People don't believe women as much as right now because a certain movement just made it to a point where, well, men just get constantly shafted. So I understand that. But if this is true, this guy is pretty fucked in the head. And I bet you this isn't his first victim. Because people like that have more victims beforehand. It's just like with me acolytes. if you come and search for me, I'm gonna make you my undead servant. You wouldn't be the first that happens to it, so just see the pattern. Am I really so fucked in that I'm gonna... Yes, irrelevant. It's a reaction. That's funny.
Threat. So saying, hey, he didn't feel bad about that. So, after that, that legal trouble, kind of a little bit of a downhill slide there.
I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine. I was trying to give you money, but all right.
To be clear, wearing a mask, especially in Southeast Asia.
Okay, he's talking about something else. This is fucked up.
Has nothing to do with whether or not you're afraid of COVID, right? We have this.
Yes,
you could
different
be sick
culture
and not want to spread your sickness, which has been a thing in Asia for far before COVID was ever.
It's a respect thing.
Also, air quality. Air quality can be bad, and you want to wear a mask, right?
Correctly.
Might wear a mask because we have really bad air quality in Bangkok or in Seoul, right? Like, there's lots of reasons. It has nothing to do with politics or anything else. Blah blah blah. Right. So like that whole stuff pisses me off, even as a person that, is in the United States, against certain things legally. Right. I'm more for I'm more on I'm on the personal liberty side of things when it comes to U.S. law and the application of U.S. law. But I think those comments are ridiculous. Right. Those comments are ridiculous. And I just want to make it clear. Right. It's not political. And that's also one big thing where people like to try to bring politics from like west to east, and it really doesn't work at all. So let me play this here.
Trying to be nicer. You. No, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Literally knocks the hat off the guy's head, steals it, runs away.
Yeah, acolytes, honestly, don't you think that doing this one to all... it's just... Why isn't he in jail for behavior like that? We have to do this to people way more often, that we just punish them for smaller crimes that are repeated. Not instantly if they make one small crime, because everybody can do a little mistake. But if it's 10 of them, well, then you have a pattern of behavior you should look out for. For F's sake.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Tells people, so obviously he's telling them to stop, to shut up.
Yes. No. What are you going to do?
So the guy's telling him not to film. He's trying to cover it. So they're on the BGC High Street, by the way. I'm going to show you where this thing is, like physically, so you guys understand. But yeah, he's on the BGC High Street. Obviously, they have their security there, right? They're telling him not to film, and he's saying, "What are you going to do?"
Hello. Hello.
And you know what the worst thing is? He's correct. Because people won't do shit. If he had the danger of actually getting hit right now, he wouldn't do this. Because he would know, okay, there could be a punishment for it. Or hitting wasn't maybe the correct thing, not hitting directly. Getting arrested for this would instantly be okay, I'm not doing it anymore.
Hello. Paparazzi, you are best in class on a paparazzi. Paparazzi.
See, there's his, by the way, this is his cameraman. Who was here for all of this, right? So this guy was holding the camera the entire time and enabling this, just FYI.
Razzi, you are my queen, Papa.
So once again, harassing people, going around, dealing with all sorts of garbage, really disgusting behavior. There was more to it. It's a 7-hour stream. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but
Fair
he
enough.
goes around, in a mask and yelling in a mall, goes around harassing other folks. I think the worst part being, though, that part where he, tells the woman he's going to rob her direct to the face. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So he decided to make this go down in BGC. Now, I know that this may be a little bit of, it may sound like we're using gang slang here. For my Filipino gang, you guys understand this, but this is Bonifacio Global City, which is actually a beautiful development where I lived for 4 months in Manila. I lived right near the Mitsukoshi Mall. If you guys know that area near the midtown area of BGC, it's a very walkable, they call it like a 15-minute city. It looks like an American city. It has a bunch of very clean roads. It's on a grid, so it's all north-south stuff, very highly developed, very nice stuff there. Yeah, right near Landers. Yeah, those who have been there know about Landers. Yeah, I live right near Landers. I was at Landers quite often. So I quite enjoyed it. Everyone was polite there. It was great. But to be clear, it's not like the majority. I would say it's fair to say that is one of the most developed areas in all of the Philippines, right? You could also say in Manila, Makati is also close, right? If you go to the Makati area, there's some very nice areas in Makati, right? There's some other areas of Cebu and other neighborhoods that are very nice as well. But it's fair to say it's one of the nicest areas. Imagine going to the nicest area, like the Manhattan. Let's use that, Manhattan of the Philippines, right? And then inferring that is the whole country. Obviously it isn't. It's one of the safest areas. It's one of the areas that's most foreigner friendly, right? It's called the global city for a reason. So obviously they're trying to be as opening and as accommodating to foreigners as they can be. A lot of foreign direct investment, a lot of foreign companies. And to be honest, there's probably a couple foreigners that are messing around and that are being a little bit dumb there, right? And to a certain extent, that might be tolerated, right? Because, well, we...
If I just take him by his word, because being a little bit dumb means to me, okay, you're drunk, you're going out screaming at night, maybe a little bit too loud, 1 time or 2 times, and singing, and you're just a dumb fuck. Not harassing people.
We get it. People are going to do some dumb stuff, and we're going to look past it. So you're kind of taking advantage of not only hospitality, but taking advantage of this very specific area, which also has extremely high security. It has police, it has security guards, which you largely see there. So very, 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 very safe. And especially where he was. So he was in this area, right? So he was going along what's called like the High Street, which is right here. You're going to see he went along this High Street here, which is a main street with kind of a Central Parks in the middle, right? And he was staying at the Shangri-La Hotel, which is very close. There's several Shangri-La hotels. This is the one over here at the Fort in Manila. This is where he was staying. There's actually a very good steakhouse there. But anyways, he was staying in like the downtown nicest area of the nicest part of the town. So imagine going to like the nicest part of the town in the nicest area of all the Philippines, right? And doing this, right? And like someone said, Stormy Horizon said, disrespect is never acceptable, even there. But if he had done that in certain other parts of the Philippines, right, like Mindanao or whatever, or like other areas, he certainly would have gotten some consequences very immediately.
And that's the problem. As Legal Mindset just said, if he did it in other areas, he would get consequences. He didn't do it in other areas. He did it in this area. And he didn't get any or not a lot of consequences for this. Or no that actually matter. So what will happen? Other nuisance streamers will go in and repeat the same thing. Simple as that.
I will say he would have gotten some consequences quicker than the legal process, if you know what I'm trying to say. So that's very much some background there. All right, let's see this guy. This guy was a guy who spoke back to Vitaly. So this guy confronted him. I believe this was yesterday. So let me play this.
When you show up here in the Philippines and you genuinely start like like what happens behind the scenes when you're interacting with people here and you're messing around with them. I know it's a joke to you, but for the people here, they work hard, bro.
And guess what? And I tip them. What do you do? Exactly.
I run a software.
So hold on right there. Did you guys hear what he said? Let's play that one more time.
Disgusting.
You're messing around with them. I know it's a joke to you, but for the people here, they work hard, bro.
And guess what? And I tip them. What do you do?
So he tips them. So he says it's okay because he tips them.
Yes. This is the problem. This guy is the representation of a problem that we have in this society. Not that he argued badly. No, he is sensible. He is really on point. The point that he made, may it be as short as it was, made complete sense, and every normal human being would understand and respect that. But he's not talking to a normal human being. The person he's talking to is someone who won't learn, who isn't actively pursuing sense. He's not pursuing knowledge. He just wants to be a funny clown that enrages people and harasses people. And he gets away with it. And the only sensible thing to do in there is to tell him, get shafted, or go away, call the police on him, and the police should insert instant punishment by throwing him in jail. The best kind of way would be with the biggest guy, with the biggest meatloaf in his pants, and just spending 2 nights with him. And then this would probably stop.
That's what I heard, right? Do you guys hear the same thing? That's what I heard from him. Like I heard just it's okay because I tipped him. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Really? Like, okay, so if you mess with somebody, it's okay if you give them a tip. Like, so if I go and mess with you and I give you like $1, that's okay now. Like, that's actually even worse. That's actually even more insulting. That actually means like, hey, your dignity can be bought with like $1 or $2. Like, here you go. Here's a tip, right? I'm gonna give you $1.
Basically,
and then go away, right? I'm gonna give you 20 pesos and go away, right? You know, it's like that's even more insulting to me, right? And to even say that is crazy.
It is,
Exactly.
yes.
I run a software company and I provide housing for the
So you
locals.
can't just talk shit, right?
I'm not talking shit.
So why
I'm
you say-
asking you why even make that content? Genuinely.
Because
like I'm speaking up for a large majority of people.
Shut the f up, because I do whatever the f I want. What are you gonna follow me?
I'm not gonna follow you.
Yo, I
I'm
swear to
trying
God,
have
bro.
A real conversation.
And I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation with you, bro. Hey, what? What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell your viewers that you guys are better than this. You don't have to watch people f***ing with others and putting them down. You need to lift people up for a living.
And what do I do?
This is my dude. Spend the energy somewhere else. My guy, you're correct. But the stupid fucks that watch this guy don't care about it. They wanna see him destroy stuff. My man, don't spend energy on this. You're worth more than this. You can build up something useful. You cannot argue with people like that. You have to show them consequences. They don't understand logic. They don't care about it. And the people that watch also don't care about it. Please, for your sake, just stop.
You haven't watched all my
I have
vlogs.
watched your streams.
Yeah.
And you're a piece of shit. And I came here to say that to everybody. You're a literal.
Well, he's correct about
That's
that.
amazing. Jesus loves you too.
Have a good
Go.
one. Stay
Yes,
safe.
don't touch me before I knock you out.
You're not gonna knock me out.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
I guarantee you're not gonna knock me
Yo,
out.
back off.
Fucking walk.
Oh, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna
So once again, you know, like all sorts of language here. Really crazy stuff. But people calling him out. I mean, that was just the day after, right? So that was just the day after. So people were already on top of that to call it out. And then of course we'll talk about the legal action here that has been taken already, I guess even now. Okay, so here's some of the articles I'll read two of the articles. So this is the first one. It's a shorter article. And this is that BGC is pursuing legal action against Russian YouTuber Vitaly. So like I explained to you guys, BGC, Bonifacio Global City, is an area. It's one of the nicer areas. But this was explained to me by a real estate lawyer in the Philippines. And I am paraphrasing. So my Philippines law students, my lawyers, if I'm not getting this exactly right, excuse me, but this is the paraphrase of what was explained to me. That essentially a master developer, because I was a real estate attorney and corporate attorney in the US for years.
Okay.
And I know a
fair
lot
enough.
about real estate. I know a lot about HOAs. I know a lot about special districts and communities and real estate development. So essentially, from what I understand, the developer essentially developed it like an equivalent of what we would do with an HOA in the US, whereas they have a master covenant on that whole land. So the developer still retains a lot of rights when it comes to BGC, which is like controlling it, maintaining it, etc. So they can maintain it to a higher level. So for example, in the US, a lot of times you'll have a homeowners association, HOA, to maintain to a higher level or a higher standard. So if it was the city standard, it might be lower, it might be here. But instead, we're going to maintain it here because we've got that higher standard. So BGC retains the right to maintain it at a higher level, but that would also give them an ability to bring a cause of action as well, right? So there's more that's kind of wrapped up into that because of that, right? So essentially, this is the article. BGC says it's taking legal actions against Russian YouTuber Vitaly Zorovetsky following his controversial video disturbing the peace in the Philippines. So literally bringing up a crime in the title. Okay.
Fantastic.
So BGC confirmed they were coordinating with authorities to address the incidents. We're aware of multiple reports regarding disruptive incidents involving a social media personality within BGC. We're actively coordinating the appropriate authorities on pursuing necessary legal measures to address this, ensuring the safety and well-being of everyone in BGC remains our top priority. We want to work closely with authorities to uphold safety and security within the estate. This is huge because if you think about it, like a giant mall, you would not want to have people running around. You would not want to have people running around in an area where tourists want to be safe, right?
Correctly, yes.
So if people want to, you want people to come and be safe and, be welcome. You would not want people to run around and cause problems, harass people, right? That would obviously deter tourists, that would deter investments. Okay, so I guess according to the Philippine Star, Russian YouTuber Vitaly Zorovetsky, who has harassed and disrespected Filipinos while filming in BGC, was caught by police officers in front of a hotel along Seaside Boulevard in Pasay City on Wednesday, based on a mission order from the Bureau of Immigration. So the Bureau of Immigration, the BIA, as we'd say, the Bureau of Immigration caught him in front of the hotel in Pasay City. So he's been caught by police. So that is the official report from the Philippine Star. So that is great news. That is amazing news.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm quite happy they caught him, shown him. Good. And I hope that he gets way harder punishment than it would normally be. Because he definitively already did this beforehand. And people like that just disgust me. And I will just repeat it again. Why? Why the F are we dealing with this? Why can't we just say, okay, it's enough, F you're done, you're gonna get punished way harsher than it's normally, and just end it. And it's not because of a malicious intent of mine. And I think if you see that somebody harasses someone all the time, or that the person just repeats harassment, at some point you just have to say, no, it's done. We're not playing anymore. Get shafted. But seemingly not. As it is, acolytes, good night.